In our streaming-obsessed world, do you miss DVD commentary tracks? Well, fear not, because I, Von Fry, the most scorned critic on all of YouTube, am here to give you commentary tracks for the movies streaming, the ones we love and sometimes love to hate. Tonight, I think I got a pretty good one for us from 1979, The Warriors, starring Michael Beck, James Remar, David Patrick Kelly, and I'm sure some other people. But before we get into it, I can have a quick mention of my buddies over at calderalab.com, makers of the finest skincare for men, including the Body Bar. Can you dig it? Use my promo code FRY15, save 15% at checkout. Okay, I've got my popcorn ready. There's Himalayan sea salt, Challenge butter. It's air popped on my pop light, and I am going to open an IBC root beer. Now look, had some trouble doing this. We know this is a problem. I'm trying not to. All right. I think I can maybe twist the rest of that off now. Yes. Okay. So maybe that's the routine. Pop from the opener, untwist, go about our business. Nobody bleeds. And if you would like to watch The Warriors along with me, this is on Paramount Plus via Showtime. I guess it's Showtime via Paramount Plus. Go ahead and go to that black screen, all zeros, and hit play now. All right, so we got The Warriors. It's saying 0.1, 0.2, Paramount Gulf Western logo, old stuff. I'm watching with the American subtitles. I find it weird that it said American there. Last I watched this, it was pretty well preserved, all things, because a movie that gets cult status kind of ends up getting a pretty good, not necessarily restoration, but a transfer on DVD in the least. I think I've seen this most recently, a few years back on Netflix, back when they had more throwback movies. I'm wondering what I'm going to have to do on the volume. Starring Michael Beck, James Remar, second billing. Of The Warriors, James Remar, of the cast, James Remar and David Patrick Kelly are the most visible, both of whom are in 48 Hours. Beck, his downfall was Xanadu. After that, I don't think you see him in anything. But hey, a #1 song did come out of Xanadu. I do believe we are magic. Vaughn doesn't need to sing. Always feel bad about Cleon, but man, I'll tell you. You guys ever play the Warriors game on Xbox? I think it was an Xbox exclusive, maybe. Or it came there first. The Warriors on Xbox, both a prequel and ending with the events of the film. You're really elaborating on the gang. I believe when this was last on Netflix, the synopsis that was given said in a future of something, whatever, a gang has to fight off a bunch of other gangs. It said something like that. Music composed by Wichita's own Joe Walsh of the Eagles in the City. This is a really unique way to drop the exposition with these seemingly flashbacks, but you don't know they're flashbacks. They're just kind of cutting in between. Also, early instance of trying to make text 3D, possibly giving the text a place in the environment that it's reaching and coming to. You saw that on the train. And I was never under the impression that this took place in the future or a weird alternate future sort of stuff. I thought, okay, we're just having some fun with 70s gangs. Like, not that this is really representative of the gang scene in 1979 New York City, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was a fictionalized, played up version of gangs in 1979. Not that it took place in a weird future, as the synopsis was saying there. Everybody brings 9 guys, no weapons. I don't think these guys ever get any more time. It was rather Asian looking gang. Look at these guys over here. Multicultural gang actually paying to use the turnstile in the subway. And one thing you may find surprising is there is a fair amount of diversity in the gangs, particularly the Warriors. They've got a black leader. They're probably, I don't know, 5/8 white guys. Rembrandt, I believe, died of the A word. Executive producer Frank Marshall. Where have we heard that name before? Is that Kathleen Kennedy's husband, I believe? I'm going to look that up. I'm looking up Frank Marshall. Sorry. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy's husband. Mind you, if he's 76 now, he's executive producer of this like around 33 or something, like 32 years of age. I think New York City may still use these subway maps like this with this font and all. Walter Hill. This is a Walter Hill film. James Remar, he was tapped to be Corporal Hicks in Aliens and lost the job. Just soldier. What does that mean? Just do as you're told, largely? Meeting some strange wool. We have a... Oh, he's dropping the F word that you cannot use today. The one and only. Yeah, Ajax there. James Remar, very skeptical. So essentially the word has gone out to have a gathering of all gangs in New York City in Central Park. Honestly, it's a good crowd, but it may not be enough if everybody brings 9 members. Yeah, we're pretty tough with our Mylar jackets. Ain't nobody look tougher than the Warriors. It's just a simple vest. Our colors are the vest. Okay. Maybe, I'm trying to remember what the crew is with the karate gis, but they're very Jim Kelly inspired. Like, those are the guys that were inspired by Jim Kelly in Enter the Dragon. I think there were actually a good number of actual gang members in this scene. And if that's true, it's not hard to spot which ones are the actual gang members. Probably not the mimes. Here's Cyrus. If you can count. I've seen this movie a few times, yeah. Oh, good little crane up as he goes up the platform. Wow, isn't this something? Everybody's standing side by side. Not like in the way Paramount's, or maybe this is Showtime's doing, but the subtitles are in the closed caption style, you know, the black box with the white letters, and they are appearing brief and small. $20,000 hardcore members of gangs. So you have double the affiliates, is that right? But they're talking about how they have numbers that exceed the cops. They could rule the city. This kind of seems like something Bane was inspired by. Hey, there's actually a lot of us. Can you dig it? Of course. Shaquille O'Neal, totally culturally appropriated. Can you dig it? The big Aristotle who steals. The problem with one gang running the city is all these gangs want to be that gang. They're not in a gang to take orders from people. Suckers, yeah. Why, yes, I think they can dig it, sir. I think there's a good chance that they dig it. Swan, skeptical. Not as indignant about it as... In fact, Ajax looks right pissed. Cleon... I mean, we're led to believe he doesn't survive what comes here. But, I mean, I kind of feel like he could have. It would have been nice if we checked back in and found him. Our turf. Well, why has this guy got to get closer to the action? I don't remember who this is. It's not Cowboy, is it? I think this guy that gets in close on the action. Spies. He's not the one that falls in the train tracks, is he? By the way, we will have to keep our eyes peeled for Sonny Landham, another of the 48-hour cast. He plays a cop, I think, in and around the scene where the guy falls into the subway. In fact, he might be the one that threw him in there. Trying to remember who these guys... Oh. Yeah, Luther. What is his gang? Why can I not remember? I'm thinking they might have racist connotations. They're kind of like, we're not going to be led by this guy and his Jim Kelly looking dudes. It's a pretty good looking shot right there. Well positioned splash pad, of course. Uh-oh, we have a witness. Blinded by the lights. Revved up like a deuce. Those are the words. A nice orderly retreat by all. The cops are watching us the whole time. Against the crowd. Why don't we go with the crowd? The truce may be over. We got to be careful. Get out of the way. Why is Cleon getting in close here? I mean, couldn't he just have, I don't know, led his group out instead of getting in to see for sure what happened here? Was it that imperative? Hey, Cleon might have went looking for your ass because you left the group. He's going to blame Cleon shooting Cyrus. And these guys are just like, well, if a white guy's accusing a black guy and we're a bunch of black guys, why don't we just go ahead and believe him? Puts up a decent fight. This movie, this is a movie that has awesome fights. Like, you get, I realize some of it's not super realistic in ways. There's a shitload of elbows right here. But man, do you get the impression that hits made contact? Like, you'll see. In particular, I think the bathroom fight is my second favorite fight scene of all movies. All right, go through here. You know, I don't know if the truce is still on, but we still got to tag stuff because that's what we do. People got to know the warrior's been here. Are you getting a futuristic vibe out of this? If you were in 1979 Manhattan, would you feel like this was futuristic or just an embellishment on current day? Man, look how skinny gang members used to be, man. These guys are soaking wet. You did a little bit of running. Chill. You didn't go swimming. I mean, you're not really wearing shirts either. It's not like you're sweating through wool. Very stoic Swan. What is he? Is he war chief or something? So he's second in command? They got to try to get back to Coney Island. Why is that a safe zone? It's their turf. But I don't really see how... I mean, especially if everybody's looking for the warriors, they'll go look for them on their turf, right? But I'm not so sure that these guys know everyone's looking for them yet. Cleon would know. They'll find out on the radio. Hey, he's basically, Cleon basically named him leader. Warlord, huh? So I'm guessing War Chief is second in command and Warlord is the top Well, most of these guys, they're wiry, but they put up a good fight when they need to. All right, Rembrandt, do your thing. And I know I saw Rembrandt in something else. I can't recall what it is, but I think I'm thinking he died of AIDS like in the mid 80s, like pretty early on in that outbreak. Now, we're under the impression that this guy here with the glasses, this Denzel Washington looking guy, that he is the second in command. The Riffs, that's it. The Riffs. That he was second in command behind Cyrus, and now he's the leader. That's my assumption. Who are the warriors? I want all the warriors, right? Yep, young Denzel Washington, though looking not that young. I'm kidding. He's got everybody lined up over here like they were in the middle of a karate practice session. Why are we assuming that the Warriors did any of this? Does it work in as a story because this is gangs and gangs are not ran by the smartest people, and yeah, they're liable to fly off the handle over hearsay and whatever accusations? Send the word, and here we are. The captain from Carmen Sandiego, Gumshoes. It's not an off-camera role, but her face is largely hidden. And she will appear as, I think, a train driver, conductor, whatever you call it, in, oh, hey, it's a sure needle, cassette, whatever you put on the record. And this is not the original Nowhere to Run, but yeah, she appears in Streets of Fire, another Walter Hill movie. I think sometimes you end up with the cover of a song being played to avoid paying more money. We're under the impression that all of these gangs are looking for the Warriors now. And she doesn't really help them out. She's kind of the Tokyo Rose of the underground NYC gang scene. Hey, you made it through there, but can you do this? I'm rooting for you, but I'm giving away your position. Ah, yes, the Baseball Furies. These guys look like right psychopaths. Like, you see these guys, this weird organization with the bats. Everybody's basically on the home team of the Yankees, the way they're dressed. You get the impression these guys are really frightening. Turnbull ACs. I'd call them skinheads, but look, there's a black guy. Yeah, we're in a gang where we pretty much dress like we're homeless. Actually, we'll meet that gang, the orphans. And is it Marcy, is her name? She's also in Streets of Fire. I think she was on a sitcom with the villain from Caddyshack playing her dad, though they don't look related, like close enough for anyone to take a stab at that, but okay, are you actually safe at Coney Island? You get back to your turf. So what? Everybody's going to look for you on your turf. In fact, they might be there waiting for you. Maybe split up and flee to Canada. But we wouldn't have much of a movie, would we? Get japped on the platform. I'm assuming get killed on the platform. Why is it japped? I don't fully understand that. You know what, guys? I think the truce is off. Run. Kickin' soundtrack. My dad had this on vinyl. Yeah, we've got a, is that a short bus? I don't know. What were typical bus sizes in the day? Wow, the gingerly run over here. Got to make that train. What do we got to do? You know, you might have decent odds to outrun a bus loaded down with guys. At least in the short term. And with some, if you had to do a little finesse driving, you know, make some turns. Ajax is a little overly confident here. Hey, I'm the slowest one over here, but I'm going to give you the finger. It is a short bus, right? If I went to NYC, I would put a quarter in, and I would turn the turnstile by hand, and then I'd jump over it like a gang member. Because it's just one of the only things I'd want to do on a subway. We don't have speaking lines, but we can kind of mumble. You know, that way we don't have to use the SAG card. Oh, you thought they looked scary? I think Cowboy's the one with the hat. And we have a little bit of a Native American thing going with some of these members. Yeah, we're on the train. We're home free, except thing gets sabotaged. We're home free, right? More of this awkward scene composition, but it's effective enough. Lean in from frame and be kind of off frame and talk to somebody, and we see their reaction. Hey, if we set the right fire, we can stop this subway. Seeing this back in the day on VHS was one of my first come across of the F-bomb. All right, now we're going to catch up with Luther and his group of losers. Hey, did I see some Reese's Pieces there? Payphones, guys. Cyrus had an accident. Yeah, sounding real sympathetic. The Rogues. Man, if you were not watching this in HD, you might have a hard time reading these names on the back of these uniforms. Typically jackets. Oh, this girl right here is possibly overhearing a lot of this conversation. He might have given her a tip right there, angrily. Oh, here's the orphans. These guys that hang out on rooftops kind of watching us. But they're way down the chain. They weren't even invited. They're more of those affiliates, the extra 20,000 affiliates. Real low class. Yeah, I can tell. But they kind of do have matching shirts. Filthy matching shirts. You know, if these warriors start running, you guys ain't going to jump off your building to get to them quickly, are you? I do believe these guys were represented in the game. And when possible, they got the original actors to do their voices in the game. Wait, you're a diplomat? Fox. I believe it's Fox who ends up in the subway. No permits or parlay, huh? Big meeting and the orphans weren't there? Can't be that big a deal. Yeah, well, the orphans are cool, I'll tell you. And then they kind of lie. Yeah, I've heard about you guys. Uh-huh. Check it out, man. We carry around newspaper clipping. Yeah, that's real heavy. The orphans, right? Yeah. Kind of trying to make good there. Like, we're going to respect you, but we're going to walk through. But the Warriors have a code, for better or worse. Like, they could easily don a disguise, split up, and run off, right? Now here we are with not Mila Kunis, Mercy. Still in that era where girls were not wearing the bras, you know, with the very tight shirts. It was the thing to do. These guys were going to let the Warriors walk through the territory. Just be cool. She shows up, runs her mouth, and it's like, hey, you're going to let these guys wear your vests through here? You guys really, you orphans, you're going to let them wear their colors through your neighborhood? Waltz through here like an army? Yeah. They don't want to give me a vest, and you're going to let them wear them and all that? So then they're like, yeah, okay, sure, we're fine. You're right, Mercy. Okay, you guys can't wear colors. Sorry, we don't do that. Then it's kind of on. Take off your colors and walk through. Not leave them here, but rather hold your vest in your hand and go. And I think you guys could have complied. Yep, that's a no. Mercy with the, my eyes are up here. Yeah, I think she was like Ted Knight's daughter on a show in the 70s. Okay, so maybe you're not a whore, but you sure look the part. I mean, who would have guessed, right? Oh, but she wants some fun. She's going to keep hanging around. Not a lot of female representation in this movie, but there is a female gang coming up. The Lizzies. You know, it's weird that when the Golden State Warriors started getting particularly good in basketball, I would see Warriors trending on Twitter and thought, oh, is the Warriors on TV? Being naive. But there was a time when a movie being on TV would trend. So she wants to keep an eye on these guys, see what the action's all about. And then snatch. Now, I'd like to take a moment to remind you that the Warriors are in this interesting anti-hero protagonist role, wherein they're not good guys, but they were wrongfully accused of this crime, framed of sorts. And they're going to say some things from time to time that are not PC or heroic. And this will be one of those examples. All right, so Ajax has grabbed Mercy. Everybody's got to have a cool name, right? I'll give it to you, baby. No. Ajax probably has done some sexual assault in his time. Even Swan here, we ought to pull a train on you right here. Real tough chick. Quotable lines, right? Back when you had to have quotable lines in order to make a movie. Look at that. We rounded up some guys. Yeah, what do you get when you mess with the orphans? You have a straight edge razor, and that's it. Warriors being a little more resourceful. We've got a Molotov cocktail. I guess the idea being if we run past the car, it can blow up and provide some cover for us. And Marcy, I guess you're coming with. Why did I keep calling her Mercy? Mercy. I made it up the stairs pretty quick. We can't get a car. That's no way to travel. We gotta go by subway. Yeah, where do you think you're going? Orphans didn't even bother running. They're just like, a car blew up on our block. I guess we need to address that. Another very particular exposition dump type scene here. The orphans, they're not even on our network. They didn't get wasted. That kind of implies all of them got killed. I suppose boppers is slang for gangbangers, right? I was never huge into listening to the radio, but in '79, the radio would have quite an audience. Believe you me. The rogues actually have use of a vehicle. Does that make them a little more upper crust? I'm having a good time. Yeah. Guess that was Justin Long pumping the gas. For a period of time, New York City was really overran with crime. Pretty scary sight. I mean, it's still got a pretty decent amount of crime now, but Rudolph Giuliani cleaned up a lot of it, made like Times Square less of a seedy place and more family-friendly vacation destination sightseeing stuff. Of course, it might have helped having a Toys R Us at Times Square. It is since closed. It's a little quiet on this train. Good looking picture here. I can't say if this has a 4K. There's Sonny Landham. I can't really say if this has a 4K. If this plays 4K on Showtime / Paramount. I'm thinking, because I don't really have a 4K TV that I watch all this stuff on. Maybe I'll get one soon. I mean, I could, but I'd like to save for OLED, but then it's kind of like, still kind of waiting for the price to get reasonable, but then the next year it's like, hey, it's brighter and it has better picture on DVD or lower non-4K stuff, but whatever. All right, I'm thinking it's Fox that ends up getting sacrificed to the subway gods. Subway, $5 foot long. Yeah, that's Fox, right? Yeah, that's not Sonny Landham. Yeah, Sonny Landham has such a small role here. I mean, I've had roles about as big. It's like face flashes across the screen once. Throne, and yeah, it's stunt double, but yeah, you get the idea. And I think that's a confirmed death, as far as I'm concerned. This isn't the Marvel Cinematic Universe. By the way, I was thinking, you know, it took a while for Darth Maul to be resurrected, and against all odds, it happened, right? I'm telling you, they're not done with Captain Phasma. She will have survived some BS and resurfaced somewhere. Now look at these psychopath baseball furies. Waiting, evenly spaced out, practicing their swing. Never been to NYC, or maybe I could point out some of these landmarks. I do know that the big wheel, is that what they call it? The Wonder Wheel at the beginning of the movie on Coney Island. I think that's still operating. And they have a particular way of running with the bat, a lot of them. Cupping the top of the bat, sliding into the elbow, almost like one would hold a football. You get the impression that this is an exhausting run right here. And I do know that the Baseball Furies, particularly the kind of lead guy with the yellow, a somewhat popular costume. People will dress up like that. In part because they may already have part of the costume around. And they get the impression, oh yeah, why are we running? We could just fight these guys. You want to just turn around and fight guys who are already armed with bats? We get a pretty good fight here. Again, it feels like you're given the impression there's contact made, and that's neat. But this run through Central Park, I think we're also about to lose Ajax. Mind you, the Warriors got split up. Whew. Yeah, you want to place... Could end up with a broken rib. You do that move wrong. Get the right spacing. Make sure he's staying on his mark for sure. All right, guys, you're totally winded, but you got to fight. Oh, the mean yellow one got... Who kind of looks like... what's his name from the Terrifier? With this paint. You know, the black around the lips. Turn you into a popsicle, huh? Oh, I'm going to hold the bat like it's a magic trick here. Well, I think I'm Bruce Lee maybe here. Didn't work. Snow might be the most muscular looking of the remaining warriors. In the back, some of these guys kind of look like they're just standing around watching and get like sucker punched. Body slam. Wouldn't be an easy maneuver without somebody wanting to get lifted up. And you can kind of see here that who are among the most viable fighters. All right, we got some baseball bats. I'm certainly under the impression that Swan, Ajax, Snow, probably your top fighters. Hey, we're supposed to meet at Union Square. Yeah, well, sometimes you don't get what you want, right? Whose plan was it to adorn subways with tile? Like it was the bathroom. Well, I guess no one's here. What are we going to do to kill some time? Look at that. There's some girls. I'll tell you this. That is the most lesbian-looking gang one could picture in 1979. These don't look like gals that are into some dudes. I don't think that they're aware that that's a gang until once they get in their lair. That's Mercedes Rule in an early role as a sort of a bait cop out there catching perps. Somebody's been terrorizing the park at night, so we're going to put a cop out there, blow the whistle, squad car comes in. Takes them a sweet time. I guess you gotta have some distance, otherwise these guys will suss out that the cops are waiting. We don't have time for this. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little exercise. You never were very smart. Ain't nobody staying behind I don't know, take seconds on the girl here or whatever. You get a bit of an Odyssey feel here, like she's the siren who has tempted one of Odysseus's men. You ain't gonna keep your bat handy? Come on, man. She's got a rather deep voice. Which nowadays is a mark for concern, right? We better go back. We can't just leave him right here, you know? He saved my ass before. I owe him. All right, fine. You go get him. I'll look for the others. And I guess as far as storytelling goes, it's good that they went back to see what happens here, to see that it was a trap and that they essentially lost Ajax. I mean, there are others who've had a worse end come to them. Like, he may very well be back on the street within a couple of weeks. And I'm not saying that the warrior sprung for a good lawyer for him, or that maybe the Rift subsidized it, because it's like, yeah, let's go into headcanon here. The Rifts respect the Warriors. They use their pull to bail out Ajax and get him some good representation. And then the Warriors say, okay, we did you this favor, but we're going to have to cut you from the Warriors, causing too much trouble for us. He's like a chained up dog. Very much an animal reaction from him here. Instead of realizing he's caught, I mean, it's all fight. Even one hand, not doing too bad against the cops, considering. See, he kind of looks like a dog that's now been kind of like beaten to trouble submission of sorts, almost puppy dog eyes. All right, Cowboy and Snow see that Ajax gone down, so that's something to report. Where are the others? So where was Mercy hanging out? She went to Union Station also and decided to wait for everybody? I mean, I got nowhere else to go. I'm kind of ruled by the orphans, and they're so small time. May as well. Snagged a coat, too. These two not really in a bad position. They could kind of make it back to Coney Island from here, if not for having to kind of round up everybody else. It said you can only bring 9 members to the park conference, but there's Sonny Landham. I think I did correctly spot him earlier, but he's also like in this shot in the knees. That looks like that was actually him, not that they subbed him out for a stunt double. Obviously, they're not in the tunnel at the same time as the train going. There is an edit. Oh, we don't have any dudes. She's going to tell them they have guys, but there ain't even really... I don't believe there's guys in the Lizzies. Rembrandt being far more skeptical than the others here. Yeah, I guess we are pretty well known. She talked him up pretty well. Kind of like, if you want to get on Trump's good side, flattery will get you everything. Yeah, I'm telling you, this gal over there saddling that bench and drinking the beer, that is not a gal into dudes. Some of them looking a fair bit on the butch side. You want to party? You came to the right guys, huh? If a girl tells you to take your pick and you're not really jumping on the one that makes such an offer, does that seem like a bit of a diss in her direction? I want to get a better look at it. I mean, I got to take my pick here. Well, this one's smiling at me, but I'm going to walk out for the one next to you. Yeah, that doesn't look weird. It is the one who said that the Warriors were a big outfit, right? So I guess he liked that. Yeah, Rembrandt with the scarf tie over him, it's kind of putting off signals. We're a very inclusive street gang. Sort of a heading to a makeout sesh opportunity moment here. I'm surprised I don't see the homage to this occur in other films so much. Like, hey, let's kiss between the subway. And of course, there isn't some challenge online as of yet. Stupid kids trying to recreate this. This is a pretty quick movie. Regardless, in a similar manner to Aliens, it does that thing of trying to put a squad together, picking a few off. Actually, Aliens picks off far more. But giving you a little bit of personality for a few of them. Kind of seeing hubris get the better of some. And through it all, you kind of see that Swan was a good pick for War Chief. All right, we got to get the train over here. It'll make her shut up. Then we can make out. And you also get like a moment coming up where it's a little introspective, a little reflective on them. She knows she's poor. She feels like she's this is the life she was left. And you see these kids coming home from prom essentially. And there's a juxtaposition, kind of like, well, hey, look, these guys over here, they're so dirty. They've been really wrung through the wire here. Little character moment. Sometimes it's good to kind of break up some of the chase and action with something. Looks like a good shot for a trailer, right? Like, hey, we're going to sell this as romantic for the women. Bring a date to the warriors. Nah, we ain't doing it here. You told me you weren't a whore. Puts her down right here. Everything that happened tonight's all bad. You're just part of it. Yeah. You just go back to wherever you came from. But she comes with anyway. I'm assuming by the end of the night she's an honorary warrior. This is the way music was played, guys. Just a lot of mechanical parts, things that need maintenance, can go wrong, expensive. It wasn't just Spotify back then. I don't think jukeboxes honestly sounded that good, if we're being honest. Rembrandt seemingly put off by the ladies. Why are these ladies dancing together? This is a little suspicious. I'm kind of spotting some red flags here, guys. Be right here. Where did they give the signal that here's where we make our move? But they're shooting eyes at each other here. What? We're not the guys that shot Cyrus? Cochise, right? He had the switchblade pulled on him. I'm trying to think here. Am I calling the wrong guy cowboy, possibly? Chair. I think they got two guns. Yeah, we got two girls shooting guns. And they shoot like girls. That oh shit as they got away reminds me of Monty Python the Holy Grail. When he leaves all the nuns or whatever. And you get to play as a ton of the different warriors in the game. And they all have the mannerisms, the run style they had in the movie. Part of that Rockstar Games attention to detail. Like, I think Cochise has a very upright run. Like an Eric Dickerson type thing. He's the lone warrior. Of course, you'd never be able to find where the rest of your gang went. Unless they really had the initiative to come back home. Couldn't really just go looking for them. It just wouldn't work. These guys with the overalls, I think only one of them has skates, but I don't remember their name, but this fight is astonishing. Exemplar fight sequence. It's quickly cut, but it looks so raw and authentic. It looks like hits land. Really good work with, I'm not sure if we'd call this Foley mixing, but because it's not overly done. But whatever they did with the sound editing is vastly superior to a lot of the contemporary films. Swan's kind of fortunate. He has other warriors in the vicinity here. I don't feel like his plan was to lure these guys into a trap. I mean, I guess a lot of them did wait at Union Square. Union Station Square, whatever. Cops got Ajax. Anybody want to see what happened to was it Fox? I don't think anyone says. All right, who's in charge if there's no Swan? Seems like Snow just called that shot. Girls, I want you to cosplay as Mercy. Not lifeguard Mercy. I'm talking Mercy from the Warriors. Overall, gang, it looks pretty tough. These guys look like they eat healthy. Is that dude over there with the skates? This is kind of a funny exchange. Over there, he's after you. And he's got some guys with him. I know they're on my ass. Now he looks over there. And now they know I know it, which is dangerous. Luckily enough, here come some warriors. We're going to be okay. 6 warriors and a Mercy to help revive them. Let's head off to the bathroom. How long can an isolated pinball machine on the subway do? Or there's a few games around here, but I mean, I just see this getting completely vandalized, broken. We got a light gun game in the 70s. Interesting. Actually, it may not be light gun. That might be mechanical. It's a men's room. Are you kidding me? Boom. Whoop. She goes into forbidden territory. Look at that. Another diverse gang. Uh-oh, switchblade and skates. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these gangs, no voice lines. You know, these guys are not getting a check when this plays on basic cable on TNT for years to come. Where are the warriors hiding? We outnumber them. It's played up as a guessing game for the audience also. I am saying this is my second favorite fight scene. It's not the longest. Prolonged is not necessarily good. High level of destruction. Lots of anger in here. It doesn't look like rehearsed ballet. Your plan was to hang on to that pole for what? Yeah. Oh, here's where we'll see a sucker punch. That's funny. Elbow. She's doing a little bit, biting into his shoulder. I'm not sure about that move. Boom. That was a stunt double. Oh, Swan is taking some shots because he's being held. Wow, Rembrandt's so weak, man. Kick through the stall looks cool. Lots of hard surface possibilities here. I mean, it just looks like real injury. That chain. Here, we'll get a sucker punch in here, I'm sure. Did I miss it? I thought there was a guy kind of standing there watching and one of the warriors punched him in the side of the head. But capping it off with that like judo throw through the stall, that's got to... I don't see a happy way to land that. Of course, I'm guessing I don't know, maybe they had a false wall they took down and they actually had removed the toilet, or you didn't have one back there to begin with. You reconstructed the stall, had something for a guy to land on. Here we got a guy ratting out the rogues. Says he saw his shots. I guess we need to watch again and look for this specific guy. Is he a member of the rogues? Was he standing next to Fox, maybe, and saw this go down? Because Fox was a witness. Yep, he didn't run the whole city, that's right. Yeah, hold on to those bats. You may still need them. Now, here is the scene with the prom kids, clearly on the young side. Somehow confident enough that they're not going to get shaken down here. Definitely doing the prom thing, because you can see she's got... Is it the corsage that goes on the arm? Never really got that. But the flower on the arm. Yeah, I say they look young, but this girl right here, looking back at Mercy, she looks 18 and 60 at the same time. She sees how dirty Mercy is. And it's like, yeah, maybe we should kind of quiet down here. Swan's like, no, don't make yourself look presentable here. Just staring back. And she's like, fine, I don't have to look at these guys. I'll shut my eyes. Yeah, maybe we should get going. We'll get off at the next stop. Oh no, I dropped my flowers. Good. I didn't want to be reminded of those more middle class, I wouldn't say upper class. I don't think they'd be on the subway. The Wonder Wheel. Back on our turf. I have my doubts that a subway car looks like this now, but I wonder how much different could it really be. Yeah, you know what? See these flowers, somebody may as well have them. That way I can give a gift to a girl without spending any money. Kind of works out. Yeah, don't like seeing things go to waste. That's explanation enough. You almost would think they should have a ton of warriors waiting for them here, like 50 guys ready to protect them. And that could be the way this movie comes to a conclusion. Like the rogues show up with some of their guys, but they're surrounded by warriors. Luther about to have some highly quotable lines here. I think misquoted at times too. Keep an eye out for how it's said and shown in the captions. All right, we're about to rumble again, so everybody find some resources. You didn't really do that much fighting in the men's room. I wonder how many takes it took to get that shot of the pipe coming off as they wanted. Of course, just smashing the bottle, the glass is a little easier. Possibly more lethal. Bottles clicking. Here we go. It's got these little mini bar bottles. Like, I'm not sure what you call these, like beer you get on airlines. Was this improvised? It comes across as very improvised. It like spur of the moment. Warriors come out to play. I think occasionally you hear Warriors come out and play. This was parodied on the Rugrats. Babies come out to play, said Angelica. They're like, is this guy lost it? What is this? I'm feeling a little dumb that I may be missing one guy's name from the Warriors here. But I'm going to insist that Cowboy is the one with the hat. Now, like I said, I wasn't really under the impression that this wasn't anything other than present-day New York City, loosely. Streets of Fire is very strange in that it's like an out-of-time experience. It's both 1980s and 1950s at the same time with really no in-between. I think that I'm not sure how you feel about that sort of fantasy setting for a kind of musical action movie, but it conveyed that that was what it was going for. If there were some intention that this was in the future when the gangs were in New York and they're really eccentric, I never got that impression. Yeah, let's have it out on the beach. You really don't have that many guys in your clown car, Luther. Why are we assuming he killed Cyrus? The witness to such, I don't think ever told you, and he died. One-on-one? Yeah, okay. I've got a sheriff's badge and a gun. You have to do this knife throw in the Rockstar game. And I think I may have missed it on my first try and got killed. But the game quickly lets you do it over. Trying to recall where he picked up the switchblade. Riffs. Yeah, right. You're going to have that out over here and you're not going to notice all these guys who walked in on the scene. It's one of these movie trope type things where it's like, if it's off camera, nobody saw it. Even though the geography within the narrative would suggest people should have seen this go down. Riffs, not so diverse. You still looking for us? We found what we're looking for, and you get the impression that the rogues are not really walking away from this. You warriors are good, real good. Yeah, but we think it's the warriors who killed Cyrus, and then as soon as someone else tells us different, we're going to agree. We don't have evidence. Like, it would have been nice if there were, hey, I got a picture, or the word really got out. Like, even the cops say they saw what happened. Something a little more verifiable. I think that this movie still does a lot of good. It's fun. But it's one of those instances where maybe the plot's not necessarily as strong as the rest of the components. Yeah, you get the impression the rogues did not walk away from this. Now, essentially, Tokyo Rose here. Playing one for them. Here's Joe Walsh in The City. Also available in the Xbox game. Somewhat surprising that there's no sequel. Maybe it was more of a cult hit than a financial success at the box office. All right, let's get these names. Cochise Cowboy, Rembrandt, Vermin. It went to a small screen. I couldn't see it right quick. But what are you going to do, right? Well, I guess that's going to be it for the Warriors. What do you guys think about this one? Is it a somewhat forgotten classic, or does it usually get its due? Let me know in the comments below. Till next time, adios.